So tonight we're sharing some questions that have come up, and this obviously come up frequently in regards to one of probably the biggest issues most people experience, which is problems with sleep.
My last patient tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Fitting.
Yeah, it was fitting, and so just in a nutshell there, yeah, he's a younger patient.
Yep.
And just having some troubles getting to sleep at night. So we had a little bit of a chat about that.
Yeah.
That's just some strategies to deal with that, which is good. So, and I'm feeling it a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've had the hard road, haven't you, really?
Well,
so
just a little bit.
The island life that we can call it.
That's right.
Know? So Miles has just come back from Thailand, had the weekend away in a bit of a mastermind group. But
bit tired today. Don't feel sorry for me. How about that?
No sympathy.
But, yeah, so...
but it makes a difference, right?
Sleep.
So let's cover that first. I
Huge.
think a lot of people understand how key sleep is as a vital component to health.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of it's the rest and recovery, right? It's where we do all our growing if we're young, but it also does our growing as we're older too, which is our cell turnover and our recovery.
Healing and repair.
Healing and repair, that's right, as well as one of the most important things that we do at rest, which is digestion as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, some really key things where we create healthy cells for the next day. We go through that recovery process, and then we obviously also rest and reset the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Can't overemphasize how important it is, and everyone knows this anyway.
Yeah.
And we, it's always an ongoing joke when my kids aren't that young anymore, which is kind of good. Got a 4-year-old at home.
Yeah.
But she sleeps pretty good. She sleeps better than I do, that's for sure. But when you go, about the importance of sleep and how valuable sleep is when you first have kids.
Yeah, my last 2 years, I've got a 2-year-old now, and it has never been more important or more costly to the impact that sleep has in those early years of parenting.
That's right.
It's brutal. It is totally brutal. And
it affects everything, right?
Yeah.
Not just as in terms of your energy levels and your recovery, but you get sick more.
Yep.
You get more run down, whether it be like a cold sore or
it shows up, right?
Anything like that.
The body
any kind of
system
immune
shows
stuff
the wear and tear.
Definitely does. And then also just about your productivity, obviously, as well. Not just from an energy perspective, but how clearly you think, your cognitive function.
Yeah. I was told, and I can't verify this or find the source there for you, but they reflected almost like the blood chemistry or the physiology that you have the day after having no sleep. If you lose those 8 hours of sleep, one night of sleep, you then have the blood chemistry of a diabetic.
There you go.
Like your adrenal system is in so much chaos that it is under so much pressure that it is working really, really, really hard. Oh, Dolly joins us.
G'day, mate. Good on you, throwing in the question. Thank you. On top, just about that as well is that where were we? Blood chemistry. That's right. So, and one of the other big things that we see with poor sleep is then sugar cravings.
Yeah, exactly.
So we want that immediate hit of energy. We always reach for sugar, and the body innately goes towards the real quick fix for the sugar for the low energy, which is just high processed sugar.
Yeah, because it's building on that kind of stress response, right?
It gives
it's bathing off the adrenals.
Yeah, so that'll make it even worse.
Yeah. So we want some strategies for that.
Yep. So definitely some strategies for that.
I think if I was to kind of come to it first, is that like we understand, as you saw, like healing repair, that fundamentally actually happens between certain hours of the night.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the idea is that like healing repair, tissue healing the physical body happens between 10 and 2.
Yep.
While it's our psychological repair and putting the body back into order happens between 2 and 6. So we lose those at first hours of the night. We don't get them back. Like the body can't catch up on that.
No.
So that's where I think fundamentally this is like the saying of like every hour after 12 o'clock is lost like by 2, you know what I mean? Like
isn't that like every drink after 12 o'clock is wrong or something?
It's wrong. Everything is wrong. Yeah. So it's a bigger impact. It's a bigger impact. You can't kind of like sleep for 8 hours from 12 to 8 and think that that's the same quality of sleep from 10 till 6.
No, and we know that just from a brainwave perspective, right?
Yeah.
So we get into a better brainwave pattern from 10 until 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's evolutionary on our cycle.
That's correct. Yeah, that's right. So I think sometimes some of the best rituals in regards to putting yourself to sleep and getting quality sleep is the alarm clock to go to bed, not to wake up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I don't need that.
You don't need that? Man,
I'm good. I'm good to get to bed most times. Anyway,
Yeah.
But a lot of people get caught up, don't they? You know, and one of the biggest things, obviously, at this point, is screen time. So that's where most people lose track of time, and so then all of a sudden they go, it's 7:31 minute.
Yep.
Checking Instagram, and then all of a sudden it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I think, having some limits around about that, and like you say, having a bit of an alarm or anything. I like
ritual.
Well, I like on your phones. I like using screen time. I use it mainly for my kids.
Yeah.
But you can do it for yourself, where you set the screen time where the apps disappear.
Yeah.
At
right.
8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at 8 p.m. your phone still works.
Yeah.
But just the key apps like grey out.
Yeah.
And you can't use them.
Cool.
Pretty easy setting.
Yeah.
And then at that point in the day, you just it'll automatically block you out. So screen time's a big thing.
Screen time, and obviously that's not only just the wire up. So the wire up from that is the light, right?
Yep.
Like the light hits your brain.
Yep.
It's a really harsh blue high frequency light, and it tells the brain to wake up.
Yep.
And this is the important time when cortisol is meant to be coming down, melatonin is meant to be coming up, and we're meant to be going through this transition.
Yep.
So this is not only just light, it's not only just light coming off your phone or the screen or the TV, it's even lighting in your house. Like if you wanted to ritualize this for yourself, it's kind of like taking the scenario of going like, okay, we've got all the overhead lights, we're going to turn them off and we're going to use lamps.
Yep.
As we transition out of dinner into a bedtime ritual.
Yeah, it's winter. Just
have
light the fire and that's it.
Yeah.
How good is that? But yeah, so definitely, and look, I use this, and I know if Megs is watching this, my wife, she'll have a bit of a laugh about this because she knows this to be true.
Yeah.
Is that if I am using screens after dinner at night, I put on my blue blockers.
Yes.
Glasses. So I use the blue blockers, the glasses. It's just they're not prescription at all, but they just block the blue light, so that can help. Not gear up my brain. Yeah. Because you will still, so many people can fall asleep like watching a show, watching TV and stuff like that. But the brain waves have already been excited. Yeah. Yeah. So so what you're trying to do is reduce that excitability of the brain waves before you go to sleep, and so that's what the blue blockers are for. So if you have to use your screen, put on the blue blockers. In actual fact, it's not, if you're using a screen all day, it's not a bad idea to get them anyway. Yeah. But if you're on a screen at night, just whack them on. Yeah. And you'll put them on and everything will go red or blue, like depending on what colour you are.
You can actually get ones that are clear now.
Can you? Yeah. So, but then it adapts immediately anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So that's a good way to go.
There's a couple of others, but we might actually break up this segment into a couple because I feel it's important. We've got to answer Dolly's question here about positioning. Yeah.
Okay, so about that's about sleeping position as well, and also shrugging when you sleep. So I'm going to talk about that first, and then Matt will talk a little bit about position. So what you're talking about there is obviously having your shoulders up near your head, right? Now, the thing about this is that this primarily is also a stress response. So we've got to be aware of that. So what that means is that you're not in a relaxed state during your sleep, and that's exactly like what we're talking about as in terms of having the blue blockers before you fall asleep. Even though you're falling asleep anyway, it's about quality over quantity. So if you're doing that kind of stuff where your brain waves are affected before you actually go into sleep, it means that even though you sleep, the quality is poor.
Yeah, because you're not actually getting, your brain frequency is not dropping down deep enough in order to have those impacts. So that tension in through there is a sign. It's just a symptom. It's not about trying to position yourself to get rid of the shrugged shoulders. That is a symptom saying to you that your body is elevated too high. So some of the things that we may reduce to do that is
obviously screen time is caffeine. We could increase magnesium. Like you said, there's lots of things here that could go on to another time.
Because like timing of the meal, you can talk
absolutely,
about, like,
and not overeating in the evening as well, because that puts stress on the body about digestion, all that kind of stuff. So, but position, you were going to talk about position.
Positioning. Well, I think that kind of brings into a small question about what you're talking about there as well, Martin, is that you can also, like, you can get really jammed up in through here. So if you're laying on your side... no, Martin. You don't. No, I don't think that's the solution there. I think there is a lot of conservative, variables which we can move.
First that's probably
before you can
on the continuum. Yeah, like that probably is
step Z.
Yeah, exactly. It's at the end.
But positioning. So a lot of people, let's say, if it's like shoulder stroking or shoulder position, it's about how you're actually rolling. If you're a side sleeper in this sort of circumstance, so how that shoulder's positioned in, if it's jammed up in through the top. And also then we're talking about perhaps kind of pillow and pillow placement. Are you kind of like sleeping under like a shortened pillow that's not supporting the neck properly enough? Are we talking about something that you're sleeping under 3 pillows at once and everything's kind of jammed up in that sort of state?
Yeah.
Too? So we're looking at how we can, one, set the body up to be in a rested state while we sleep.
Yep.
So that's going to talk about quality.
Yep.
And then we're also wanting to sort of take in the factors about how can we then create an environment in which the body can be in rest. And this can be on mattress, and we're talking about like pillow position here.
Yeah.
So
being as neutral as possible.
Yeah, we're looking for neutral postures. We're not looking for areas of torsion and twisting that can happen in the spine over what is, effectively 7.5 to 8 hours of the night.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah.
I've got to just say, I'm flipping back to that comment, Martin, about wife and kids. There has been lots of times where I've thought about it when I go to bed at night. I go into my bedroom thinking that it's going to be a safe zone to go to sleep, and there in the bed is my wife, the dog, my 4-year-old. Yeah. Already asleep in the bed.
Yeah. So you got the bottom corner.
That's right. It's just right at that point, I think about kicking everyone out, but that won't fly.
Yeah,
won't go.
Then you'll be in the doghouse. You'll sleep in the dog bed.
Yeah. Well, I probably the dog would get preference anyway, but it's another story.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered a bit of sleep in through there. We've got some small
There's
strategies.
so much stuff with sleep. And
I think we'll come back to it. Maybe we should tackle it again next week.
Yeah, well, I definitely, and we'd love to know if you have any other sleep questions. I mean, our focus this month in the practice is on sleep and is trying to provide some education around sleep because, like we said, it is so important and so key. Particularly if you are trying to heal and recover and improve with your chiropractic care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're getting adjusted, or if you just started getting care, or you want to get some changes in through your health, then one of the first places you should be starting is with sleep. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Better call it.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We will catch up with you again next week.
Yep.
If you have any questions, comment below, and we'll look forward to sharing with you or covering them for you next week.
Yep.
See you then.